would you like to go next? If you know anything about Saga, you know that she doesn't like making things simple. So today, one of my brake lights was out and decided to fix it, obviously. And it should be super duper easy. So on this side, all you have to do is push this tab down, wiggle this out, replace the bulb. I've already done it. But on this side, her previous, or whoever built her out in their infinite wisdom, put the tongue and groove to the point where you couldn't just pull this out because it was hitting against this. So I've disassembled all the tongue and groove, had to break the drill out, and now what should have been a 5-minute repair is turning into probably an hour. Okay, it's back in. You may have noticed this seemed like a tight fit, and it would have been easier to remove these two panels as well as the other two below, but those screws are way back behind my cooler because, again, Saga can't make anything easy, so I managed to swap it out without replacing those. Oh, and as always, we're doing our repairs in the lot of wherever we bought the supplies. That is like my #1 van life repair pro tip. Don't leave the parking lot until you're done. Right, Barley? Good boy. All right, we have made it to Tombstone Provincial Park. We are officially on the Dempster Highway. We are fewer than 880 kilometers away from the Arctic Ocean. Probably about 850 kilometers. It is 7:30 p.m. It is 50 degrees Fahrenheit and very lightly drizzling, and I think we're going to do a little trail run up to Twin Lakes via Monmouth Ridge. The park here does require that the dogs stay on leash because of grizzly bears, and there's no drones. So we're just going to bring the phone for filming and have a good time. So as I'm getting ready here, I figured I'd show y'all what I'm going to bring. This is just a 5K trail run, but we are in the middle of nowhere. I've seen 6 vehicles for the last hour, and 5 of them were in a caravan together. And I'm the only car at this parking lot, so we need to be safe. So even though I'm running and I'm not going to bring much, I do have some things that I'm definitely going to be bringing with me. All right, so as we are gearing up here, I'm just going to go over what I've got with me for a pretty minimalist trail run setup, but also keeping in mind that we are in the middle of nowhere in the Yukon. Hi, Niff. So as you can see, I am wearing some very bright colors. This is a North Face, just like a running shirt, long sleeve that I got at a thrift store. I also am wearing some very nice fluorescent shorts, partially because I like bright colors. Also, if something were to go really, really wrong out there, this makes me nice and visible. Next up, I have my Ruffwear Omni Drawer belt with bear spray. It fits pretty nicely into my water bottle holder. Barley, get out of there. The other things I've got in here, let's see, sunscreen and chapstick. Pretty much, I always keep these things in here. And then I also have some energy gummies in here. I just keep those around for good measure. And I usually keep Citronella Spray for aggressive dogs in here, but I'm actually going to ditch that because I've got the bear spray right now and we're not going to run into any other dogs. And then this pocket is pretty much just dog poop bags. My keys will also go in there. So this belt is pretty bulky for a lot of uses, but I got it for ski joring, which is one of my favorite sports in the world. Got a nice emergency release here for that. And it's nice because it can carry quite a bit of stuff compared to, you know, just having a waist leash on. So the other thing is I've got with me, I have a buff for my head and gloves. I am the unfortunate sort of person who often my body will be sweating and my hands will be freezing. so I carry gloves, and I'm going to put the boys on this bungee leash attachment. All of this is from Ruffwear. Next up, I have my spot beacon. I don't always bring this with me, especially generally when I'm trail running, I don't, but because we're in the Yukon, we're gonna bring her. So I've never actually brought her on a trail run before, and we're going to try just kind of having her tucked in here. So the spot beacon is really cool. I have a couple people's phone numbers saved in it, and I can text them whatever I want. There's also a big bad SOS button, and that'll automatically text people with my GPS location, and I believe also contact emergency services. Super nice to have. Next up is the dogs. So we'll start with Barley. Hey, bud. No, we're not taking the frisbee. Come on. Ruffwear harness. So now that Barley's got his Ruffwear harness on, I'm also going to try layering on this Herta visibility vest. The one thing I don't like about these Herta visibility vests is that they don't have a leash, any sort of leash clip. So I'm putting this on over his Ruffwear harness, just again for extra visibility. And because normally if he were off leash, I wouldn't have him wearing the harness underneath. But this park is an on leash required park. So he's gonna wear that. Hi, baby. Hi. Okay, Niff, come here. Niffler is gonna wear his very fancy new Ruffwear Flagline harness, which is a nice low profile harness. Which he prefers. He doesn't like how tight that front range harness is when it goes over his head. Kind of scares him. He's a sensitive fella. Oh, Niffler, buddy, we're not going yet. You're not dressed. He knows we're running. So, the other thing I really like about this harness, other than the fact that Niffler likes it better, is that it's weight bearing. So, ready, bud? Whoop. Really nice if anything were to happen. Sorry, buddy. I know. If anything were to happen and I needed to carry him on bigger trips, I will carry a pack-a-paw rescue harness, but I'm obviously not going to bring that on like a 5K trail run. Famous last words, right? So now we'll slip Niffler's visibility vest on, and again, these are from Herta, which is a Scandinavian company that I love. Again, the only thing I don't like about this current setup is that normally I would just have the boys wearing their harnesses. But these Herta, or one or the other, but I really want to have the visibility of the vest, and they need to be on leash. So I need something that I can clip their leashes to, and I'm not going to clip their leashes to their neck collars while we're trail running. So there's Sniffy. He's clipped. Come here, bee. It's okay. Okay, that's enough. Wait. Voila. So the last thing that I'm bringing is my phone. I have pictures of all the trail directions and maps on my phone. This trail does not exist on all trails, otherwise normally I would have that downloaded as well. No drones allowed in the park, so we're running, so we're obviously not going to bring mosquito. So any footage from here on out is going to be done with this thing. It's muddy out there. So last thing I will note, I'm not bringing any water. This is a 5K. I hear plenty of running water. If anything goes really wrong, I will drink that and suffer the consequences of Giardia as needed. I don't carry water on 5K runs. Normally I might, but I've got the bear spray where my water would go, and I'm not carrying a hydration pack. Tomorrow when we do this as a bigger hike, I absolutely will be carrying water, but on a 5K trail run, you know, I'm gonna be home for dinner, so not carrying water. Right, boys? Yeah? Do you guys want to go running? All right, and away we go. Let's go. So as I'm going here, I'm obviously watching my feet quite a bit because it's like this. But that also allows me to keep an eye out for any tracks and anything I don't want to meet on the trail. So far, all I'm seeing is nice human tracks. Those are fine. But if I see any big bear prints, you know, that's important information to have. So after filming my packing or prep video, I double checked my route and all that and realized that Twin Lake via Monmouth Peak is much more of a bushwhack than I want right now if I'm gonna be yogging this whole thing. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll just go to Grizzly Lake. I forgot. That's 11K according to the book I had, and 13 miles according to the All Trails, which is a really big discrepancy. Either way, not really sure, but it's too far. So we're just going a little ways down the Grizzly Lake Trail, kind of run walking it, and tomorrow we'll come all the way out on the Grizzly Lake Trail, I think. All right, after about 2 miles up, we are on our way back down. I am technically breaking leash law with Barley, but he stays very close, and with the trails in the condition they are, it is a guaranteed hazard for me to be connected to both dogs at the same time, and only a hypothetical hazard with bears, so making a judgment call. It is 9 p.m. and it's still super bright out. There's the sun, not even close to going down, and it's just beautiful here, everyone. One of the things I like about being with dogs in bear country, aside from all the downsides, which we'll talk about in a second, is that I can use their behavior to understand more about what's going on in the environment. Sometimes I think I hear something and I'll pause for a moment and I'll see if the dog's ears are swiveling, if they're lifting their noses to the wind, if their hackles are up or anything like that. And sometimes I also pay close attention to what Barley just did there. So he was sniffing along that tree. That could have been someone scent marking it. There also could have just been odor that was captured in the eddy behind that tree. And yeah, sometimes my dogs unintentionally point out interesting stuff to me along the trail. You know, a kill site, scat, and other things that I may just not have seen right away, but also things that I can't see. Again, odor. If I really notice both of my dogs putting their heads down and snuffling intensively at an area, that just reminds me to stay alert. Maybe pick my head up a little bit more, slow down so I don't have to look so much at my feet, make a little bit of noise. But that said, there are also a lot of big downsides to having my dogs with me in bear country. One, I have to worry about them as well as myself. You know, I think they're happy to be here, but if something happened to either of them with either a bear or a moose or anything else out here, I would feel terrible. They also are potentially a risk to me. If they, excuse me, Niffler, speaking of, Niffler just almost yanked me down this very steep section of trail. They also could hypothetically bark or chase or spook or upset some wildlife that may otherwise have, if not ignored me, I may have been able to move past without incident. But having the dogs with me, you know, it heightens the risk that something happens. And especially if one of them were to bark or chase a bear or a moose or an elk or whatever it is, and then realize that they're in trouble and come back to me. Now they've got an angry bear or an angry moose following them and coming right towards me. And that's where stuff can get really bad really quickly. So I try to use all 6 ears, all 6 eyes, all 3 noses, although obviously my nose is pretty much useless compared to theirs, as we're out and about to keep all of us safe. You know, we don't have to be paranoid out here, but we do need to be aware. And between awareness and bear spray, I hope I never have any sort of encounter. Honestly, I hope I never have to use the bear spray. So we do have plenty of moose sign along the trail. That's probably the third or fourth pile I've seen in a couple hundred yards. So I'm definitely making sure to talk and just moving right on through. Moose are just about as scary, if not scarier, than grizzlies out here. So especially this time of year when they've got babies, just like bears, mama moose don't like you messing with their babies. So probably should put my camera down and pay attention now, huh? All right, we've made it back to the vehicle. I only fell once. Actually, not when I was filming, funnily enough. Time to make some dinner. I think we're officially in the land of the midnight sun now.